welcome to doTERRA's online oil oasis. I'm so excited to be with you here today to talk about a very common problem that lots of people have, head tension. My name is Eliza Bacot. I'm the founder of the Organic South. The Organic South is a health and wellness business that teaches people about natural tools to keep their bodies healthy throughout the ages. My desire to create the Organic South actually came through my background in healthcare. I'm a nurse practitioner, and I have worked for the last 16 years in intensive care units around the city of Atlanta, watching people really struggle, and I knew that there was a better way. I'm also a doTERRA Diamond Leader. And what that basically means is that I quit my job in healthcare 2 years ago and dedicated my life to helping other people discover these natural tools and how they can help keep them well. So, with all that being said, I'm excited to be here with you today to talk about head tension because this was a common problem for me in my household. I started using oils just right around the time that my daughter was born. And as everyone knows, having a baby can cause some stress and tension in the household. And I experienced lots of head tension. And it was actually one of my first personal wins with these natural tools was being able to use some of them to ameliorate some of those feelings of tension that crept up for me on a daily basis. So what we're going to walk through today as we discuss head tension is certain causes, why it actually occurs for most people. And we're actually going to be talking about some very simple solutions that you can use for yourself and for your family throughout the ages to actually help you relieve some of that tension. It's a very important topic. Most people in their lifetime will experience head tension from time to time. And it's very what we call episodic in nature. And what that means is basically it arises typically from some sort of episode that we have that causes stress in our life. And it's very important that if you are experiencing head tension that's prolonged, it's habitual, it feels the same, that you seek medical advice. That is very, very important because we wouldn't want you to ignore a larger problem that you may have. So head tension in general typically involves most of the facial muscles and the neck muscles, because all of these muscles actually, if we were to look underneath our skin, are actually all interconnected to our neck muscles. So some of the things that really can cause that type of tension is if you're very still when you're working throughout the day, say working at a computer, or if you remain in the same position and you're not getting a lot of movement throughout the day. Stress is a big one. Life events, anything that sort of produces a stress response in your body, a very scary accident, grief in your life, just stress from any of the everyday to-day life things that we have to deal with is something that can certainly cause head tension, and repetitive movements. So if you're a person that loves to do a certain sport, say like tennis, or basketball, you're always moving your head in the same motion. Some of those muscles can get overworked and very tired, and it can cause tension in them. And then, of course, our sleep positioning. We've all had this where we slept in a funny position during the nighttime. Sometimes for me, it's caused by children coming in the bed and sleeping a certain way. And we get stuck in that one position, and we wake up with tension, which is not a great way to start our day. And so those are some of the causes that can actually make the muscles very tight in the head and neck. And actually what can happen when those muscles are very tight, we don't get great blood flow to them. And when we don't get great blood flow to them, that actually creates that tension in the muscle. And that actually creates tension in the nerves too. So those are some of the problems that arise and the causes. So now let's talk about the solution. And we're going to work through 3 types of ways that you can use essential oils to help with your head tension. We're going to talk about you as adults, and we're also going to talk about your kids. So let's first talk about topical. Now, we're so lucky because doTERRA is so smart, and they know that we need certain blends, and they know that we don't always want to be mixologists at home. So we have our wonderful past tense blend, and this is a beautiful blend of peppermint, wintergreen, basil, rosemary, marjoram, and lots of and also diluted in coconut oil. And it's wonderful because it comes in a really easy to apply roller bottle just like this. So what I actually do with this is take a little bit on my finger, and I love to put it on pressure points along my head. So some pressure points that we can discuss are right here along the temples. A lot of times when I get head tension, I actually can feel this muscle that runs like a band across my forehead kind of tightening. So I'll run a strip right along here and then right here on my temples, and I actually do it kind of in a circular motion. And then what I like to do is actually take the roller bottle and rub it all the way down and around the backs of my ears, because I really want to get it into this long muscle here called our SCM muscle. It runs all the way from the back of the head all the way down to the neck. And that's a big cause right there for tension. So you want to make sure and apply the oil there too. And really what I like to do is rub it in very well. And one little safety tip, because this has peppermint in it, which is one of our top oils for head tension, you just don't want to get it near the eyes. It may be an essential oil rite of passage, let's say, to get peppermint in your eyes, but it doesn't feel good. So you definitely don't want to have that happen. So really kind of keep it back here on the back portion of the temples. And that's just a really easy go-to. I keep one of these in my purse. I keep one of these in my home. It's wonderful. And you can also, one other place that I love to put it, sometimes people get tension back here along what we call the occiput of the neck and the head. That's a wonderful place just along the spine back there to take the roller bottle and just apply directly and then rub it in. So that's our first blend we're going to talk about topically. Now, some people need to, let's say, take it up a notch, right? So what I love to add, now while the past tense blend has frankincense in it, these two are wonderful to add to that mixture. Frankincense and copaiba. These are both very chemically diverse oils, and they work in very different ways, and they're fantastic to add just directly into that past tense blend. Now, let's say that the peppermint in past tense is a little too intense for you. Some people love that tingling feeling that you get from peppermint, that cooling effect. But for some people, it's just a little too strong for them. These are going to be your go-tos. A third one, add some rosemary in there, because rosemary, and we don't often think about rosemary so much as one for tension, but it's wonderful. So those are a great trio to really go to if that peppermint and past tense is a little too strong. And don't forget, you can layer these. So you can take the past tense and take a drop of each of these and do those same pressure points along the front of the forehead, the temples, and the back of the ears and the back of the neck. Now, lastly, topically, we cannot leave the topical discussion about head tension without mentioning this. Deep blue rub. So a lot of us think about this as our muscle and joint rub, right, to help relieve tension. So it's a perfect addition if you are really, if you know that, say you've slept funny and you know it's musculoskeletal, what we describe, then definitely take some of the deep blue rub, or if you have some of the deep blue oil, you could add it into that combination. And what I love to tell people to do is just take a pea-sized amount of the deep blue rub, and you can add that rosemary, copaiba, and frankincense blend in there and rub it all along the back of the neck. Okay, and right behind the ears, really get it deep into those neck muscles, because that's, again, where most of the tension arises that causes head tension. So those are going to be your go-tos for topical: the past tense blend, frankincense, rosemary, copaiba, and deep blue rub. And I always tell people, if you're going to go and get a massage or visit the chiropractor for the problem that you're having, do not forget to take this with you. It's a wonderful addition to your treatment. Most of those providers understand the value of these products, and they'll be happy to apply it for you in whatever therapy they're doing. So this is always comes with me when I go to the spa, because they can really work out those muscles in the upper shoulder and the neck that actually can relieve your head tension. So while topical is a wonderful, wonderful way to treat our head tension, a lot of people actually forget about using oils aromatically when they feel tension or stress. So remember how we talked about one of those causes is actually life stressors. And I can feel it when I have a lot of things happening in my life. I can just feel it like a vice coming up my head and my neck and causing tension all over my scalp. So this is a wonderful time to use your oils aromatically to help relieve those stressors in the body and really get to the root cause of why you're having head tension. So 3 oils that I love to use aromatically are actually rosemary, and I just love to use it alone, and I diffuse that. It has a very clean, herbaceous scent. It's known to reduce tension in the body. And it's wonderful for that, for just kind of taking that stress level down a notch. Another 2 that I love are lavender and wild orange. You can actually diffuse these individually, or you can combine them together. It's really hard to find someone who doesn't feel like wild orange lessens their stress. It's very well known for reducing feelings of stress, for uplifting the mood, for lightening the mood, and helping kind of release those tension feelings that we have that come along with life stressors. So don't forget about, when you're going through your regimen for head tension, for using those oils aromatically. Now, lastly, and I will tell you this, whenever I use oils internally for tension, I'm always using topically first. So we have kind of like a stepwise approach when we're dealing with a problem. I love to deal with it first topically, because if I can get away with relieving the problem topically, then that's great for my body. But sometimes that's not enough. So typically when I'm turning to internal for stress relief and tension relief, I've already applied my topical oils and I've already done that step for my body. But I really want to talk to you about this because it's a very valuable tool for you internally. So lavender is such a wonderful oil in the body for relieving stress and tension. It has some wonderful chemical properties that we know relax the body, that help just kind of chill you out a little bit and reduce those feelings of stress. So I love to take one of my veggie caps from here that doTERRA sells. I open it right up. I put 2 drops of lavender in that veggie cap. And drink with some water. And usually it only takes about 10 to 15 minutes. And I can actually feel the feelings of relaxation kind of creep up around my face and head and neck. My shoulders kind of drop. So that's wonderful. Another option, and you can use these in combination too, is doTERRA's copaiba soft gels. So we've already talked about copaiba topically, but it is an oil that you can take internally. And don't we love doTERRA? They make it so easy for us in these soft gels. One soft gel has 2 drops in it. So you can take 1 soft gel of the copaiba with 2 drops of the lavender in a veggie cap. And that is a wonderful addition for those of you guys that need a little extra support. So I hope that helps you with your head tension. This is something long-term for you that is so valuable for your health, because tension unrelieved, stress unrelieved, we know leads to so many other problems in life that culminate in just us not being well. So this is just a wonderful tool to use day to day throughout your life as life happens to all of us, to help relieve our stress and tension in the head area. Thank you so much and have a great day.